Evening. So we made the trip here all the way over to see Ted. We had some High Octane Media here, of course. I don't know if I said that or not. We had some merch that Ted ordered. We waited quite a while to get you a cup, threw in some hats, and jumped in the old Subaru and made the trip over today. Figured since we're here, might as well hang out in a nice warm shop. He doesn't have any derby stuff in here, really. I mean, he's got lots of derby type stuff in here, but we don't have a car in here to pick on. But we figured since we're here, we might as well do an interview. So, Ted, how you been?
Not too bad.
Been a while. Nice shirt. I heard you got that for free.
I did.
That's nice.
I did a lot of talking.
I think I paid for mine. But yeah, so off season, hanging out. You got a snowmobile and a four-wheeler in your shop. Four-wheeler probably because of the plow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it doesn't like the cold.
And it doesn't like the cold. And snowmobile because sooner or later we're going to have enough to actually rip a little.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's a project, something to tinker with.
Yeah, right on. I gotcha. So, other than that, other than a couple of small projects to tinker on, any plans for any stuff for Derby season 2024?
Yeah, I got a few ideas.
You got a few ideas, huh?
Yeah.
Huh, that's good.
About another month I'll start building.
Yeah, right on. So you're going to start way early then this year.
Yeah.
Another month you're going to start building. That's
none of that last minute shit.
None of that last minute shit this year?
No.
Huh. Well, I mean, all right. Let's see if that works.
Yeah.
Sometimes that last minute stuff, that's the stuff that's golden though. You can.
Yeah, and you don't really. Yeah, it always happens. You always try to avoid it, but it always comes down to it.
Any idea how many shows you're thinking you might run this year? Couple for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll run normal WFO shows and maybe sneak off and do a few others.
Right on. Any chance we're going to get you to come all the way to Rapids again?
Probably.
I like the sounds of that.
If I got something laying around, I'll show up.
Hopefully it's compact because then we'll all be together. I think that's what we decided is we're gonna go nose to nose in some compacts this year. I think in Rapids.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, last year we built two separate. Well, somebody built Sloan here two separate cars, and and since there was an open driver's seat, I got to run one. But this year I think we're coming up with a little better game plan. We're gonna go out there and try to beat each other up.
Yeah, I owe him a good hit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We've reviewed the footage several times now, and I think Ted thinks you were picking on him. Oh, we'll see.
See what the video says.
Right. Yeah. After further review, we've decided.
Depends on how much editing.
Right.
Make it look different.
Exactly. That's slow it down. No, I think I've seen the footage of that several times now, and I think I'm on Ted's side on this one. I think you were picking on him.
I didn't even know it was Ted. The sign gave it away.
Right.
It was like this, though.
Right on. So other than probably seeing you in Rapids and a couple of WFO shows, we're not going to see no surprise shows this year. Maybe one.
You just never know.
Just never know.
I
ain't going to let out any secrets, guys.
I got this little birdie on, that likes to call me at the last minute and say, "Hey, grab a car, let's go."
Oh, right on.
And he's really good at talking people into shit. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. Depends what the year season starts out as.
Right. No trips to Iowa in your future.
No. No.
Okay.
We're good on Iowa for a little while.
Good on Iowa. Yeah. I don't see any reason to go to Iowa ever, honestly. But that's just me. I hear it's fun to pass through every once in a while.
Stinks.
Pig shit.
Yeah.
That's what they use to grow their whatever the hell they grow there. Besides pigs, right?
Yeah. Beans, corn.
There you go. Yeah. See, I don't even know anything about Iowa. All the more reason not to go.
What's that?
Have you seen the North Dakota State Fair?
Have I seen the video of it, or? Yeah.
What do you think of those guys?
They don't fuck around. They put the hammer down for sure.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
Did you run with them?
Sure.
That's a pre-registered deal, though. I don't know how. We'd probably have to get him in on that pretty soon.
I think there's only 3 spots left.
Yeah. That North Dakota State Fair, that's what Sloan was just talking about there. That's all pre-registered stuff, and they give pretty much the first half of the field gets preferential treatment for doing it the year prior to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to get in on that thing unless you're pre-registering right away early. But that would be a cool one. That's a long tug,
Yeah, and
but
it
that'd
ain't
be
a
cool
real
one.
severe build either.
No, I didn't think so. I mean, didn't the Titanic win? You know, I mean, it doesn't take too much to build the Titanic, right? Yeah. So there's a rumor we can throw out there. That could be a possibility. It might see him all the way out to the state fair.
Maybe. We'll see.
That'd be neat.
I don't know if I got a clean enough car for that one.
You might have to go to North Dakota first and find a clean car, so that way you can run one in North Dakota.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's. I
I might know.
I probably know a guy too, but.
Eddie knows a guy probably in Bangalore that has one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I do know somebody that's got some rust-free cars.
Nice.
Don't look at me. It's not.
So, how long have you been doing this?
Oh God! Well, since I was 16. At 15, you're able to run Bagley, but I couldn't get anybody to sign off on it. So I started when I was 16.
So, wait, you're 21 now?
God,
23.
I wish. 37. A few years. Quite a while.
Always been a compact guy?
Yes, ran a big car once, didn't like it.
Ran a big car once, didn't like it.
Too slow.
Really?
Can't move.
And that's just because of the bag. I mean, it depends on what track you're on, where you can where you can get that momentum working for you.
And different back then. I mean, it was basically rolled in basically a fairly stock car.
Right.
You know, and I was young. I didn't have no idea what the hell I was doing, and I ran. First big car was a '73 Impala.
Okay.
Yeah, junked it 2 shows.
Yeah.
You know, but it was rusty and stuff too, and I didn't really care for it. It's just.
See, all I ran back. I mean. We primarily had enduro cars, and I'd wait until the enduro car wouldn't possibly make enough laps to even count anymore, and then I'd destroy it in a derby.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the same theory like you're saying. You know, back then, I don't know, when I got into this and doing this with Sloan here just a couple of years ago, I was like, well, geez, that thing's modded to hell, and that thing's like the rules are way different now.
Yeah.
You can do way more things everything sits in a different rule set where it kind of. I don't know, me as a kid, it was a run what you brung sort of. If it had some chains on the door, you were doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's basically how everybody built back when I started. And then the rules kind of slowly progressed.
Evolve, yeah. Yep.
You know, oh, you can weld this on now. You can do this. You can switch bumpers. You can, you know.
Right. And
when you're a young kid, broke, freaking, hey, let's go find a $100 car and go smash it. Let's have some fun. And now you're spending $500, $600, $700 on a car.
You don't even know if it runs.
Exactly. You're either switching motors or whatever, but then which is the rules kind of nice because now you can toughen them up a little bit more and not wreck them in one show.
Right.
Get maybe 1 or 2 or 3 runs out of them.
I've never ever been, well, with the exception of that thing that he let me drive in Rapids. That was a Sable wagon.
Sable wagon?
Yeah.
Same thing as a Taurus.
Same thing. They're a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, that's the first one that I've driven on a trailer after Derby. Everything that I've ever driven in a Derby, we've had to pick up and set on a trailer.
Well, you kind of drove like a sissy out there too.
I did drive like a sissy. I've never driven a front wheel drive car before in a Derby. Is that okay? That probably tells you how old I am too. But
that might have been my fault.
But yeah, I got in a bald-tired front-wheel drive car that I've never driven a front-wheel drive car in a Derby before.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody told me that I had to save the front end of it. And I'm like, well, what? So now I got to drive this fucker backwards into everybody? Now, okay, you're right. I did drive like a sissy. I did. I had some constraints that I was up against that I wasn't used to by any means.
Yeah.
But I had fun. It was a good time. I probably should have opted for the go out with the compacts because then at least I could have hit with the front end and wrecked the thing, and I would have had yet another one that we could have forklifted onto the trailer. But
yeah,
it was a little, I don't know, you know, that enduro class rules. We built an enduro car, you know, we did. We built it to the enduro class, but that was quite a bit heavier build than what the compact build was. So you never know. It might have did good. It could have. But yeah, they let me weld a lot more shit than that, you know, than what a normal compact build would be.
Yeah.
So. And of course I saw Sloan's attempt at welding the bumper on the front of it, and that wasn't we weren't having that, so I brought it over to the fence shop and we did some real welding to her and made it.
Kind of like a Dustin Hanson weld.
Well, put it this way, he had chains on there to hold the bumper up where it was supposed to be when he was welding, and thank God them chains didn't get taken off because no, it was all right. Yeah, it was a fun car, and it lived to fight another day. It's probably gonna make its debut in an enduro yet this year, I think. So, any sort of thing like that you ever want to try to do? I mean, I know you're primarily a compact derby guy, but ever feel like getting behind the wheel of something fucking goofy? I know we talked personally about coming to the mud bog and playing.
Yeah.
Mud trucks or enduro cars or something that might last more than just a couple shows.
It makes sense to do that because yeah, you can sure if you tip them over, you just dust them off and go again,
Right.
But I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
Just run compacts, do what I know.
Right on. Huh.
But
fair enough. And I mean, off season. What do you normally do in the off season when we have snow and it's an actual winter? I know that this one's as rare as it gets, but
yeah,
we know that you're not in the shop here all winter long building compacts because that's usually not how it works out.
Nope.
So
I take a break through the winter and mess around with sleds and
right on.
me and the kids go riding and stuff. So
Heck yeah.
just take her easy for a while.
It's always nice to have some downtime too. I know my summer gets pretty hectic and my winter is usually my reset. That's what I call it, is my reset. I don't build any fence all winter long, so I don't have a job per se.
Yeah.
So my job is usually trying to screw off as much as I possibly can until the ground thaws out. These guys. No, I don't want to be on the camera, jackass, and shut up. Yeah.
But
It is what it is.
no, when you run, we start building stuff because we got a few of us that kind of all help each other out, and
Sure.
it gets to be a lot through the summer, and by the end, fall time, we're just kind of like, oh, another show to go to. When's the last show, kind of thing. And,
Right.
oh, you got a car left. Oh, we better go and try to destroy it. And
Right.
so when wintertime comes, it's kind of relax for a few months and
Yep.
then start all over again in the spring.
Yep. I can agree with that 100%. It's
About the same for us.
well, yeah, well, the same for us. And then this year, we try to get to at least one ice race, like an oval track ice race every year, every winter.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature didn't make no damn ice this year, so it isn't looking real good for us to go cover one of them.
Wasn't LaPorte had ice races, didn't they?
I think Akeley ran one week.
Or was it Akeley?
I believe so. I
Oh.
think that's where they ran them. Or it might have been LaPorte. I'm not positive, but their ice conditions aren't conducive to running again. So it's when we've had, you start getting weeks worth of 40-degree weather in January into early February. What do that's not normal.
Yeah.
But so we're kind of the same way. We have very limited amount of content that we usually put out in the wintertime. And that's kind of where this idea came from, get in the shop, get some interviews with the guys on their downtime when it's not quite as hectic. A little bit more nonchalant than we were talking to you about 18 minutes after you were on your lid.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of give you the follow-up interview. I don't know if you guys if you haven't tuned into all of our interview segments yet, there is a little bit more graphic interview that we did several minutes after you were on your top there in a compact over there in Thief River.
Yeah.
So that one was that one we see a little bit more of Ted's nerves come out a little in that one, I think.
I wasn't sure. Still trying to figure out what happened, but anyway.
Right. Yeah, you were a little, we'll say shaken, not stirred. But all in all, I think this platform is a little bit easier, a little bit funner.
Mm-hmm.
We're not up against it, and I'm not trying to. Yeah, we don't have a car in here to even try to tell your secrets or what you did or
No,
didn't
I
do
moved
wrong
that
to
out
it.
before you guys got here.
Perfect. He's lying. He already said he isn't going to start on one for another month or so. At least I didn't see anything out there that didn't have snow on it. So frost anyway. Yeah, that's still a driver. I heard how that one's going to roll. That's going to be
one of the last ones.
Yeah, that's going to be the daily till it's just can't be anymore. Right?
Yep.
I dig that. What do you primarily build? I mean, you just build what? You're kind of a Lumina and a Camry guy?
Mainly Luminas,
Mainly Luminas?
or W bodies, whatever.
Yeah.
Started with the Camrys. Still just trying to
Find a cheap one that you can build and you have parts for.
Well, I got a few, but I don't know. I'm just not a real. Still really ain't into them yet. I like them, but they're good for certain shows. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
They just don't seem to have the weight to fight back against a W body, but you can work over a W body pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of stick with what I know.
Sure. And that's fair enough. I mean, I know back in the day when, like we were talking, when you first start running these derbies, it's usually the cheapest whatever. You're not very brand loyal. You don't really, and you don't have the experience to know what your favorite one is by that time anyway,
I've always primarily stuck with GM cars. Like even back when I started out, the wheelbase was smaller, so we'd run a lot of like Corsicas or Cavaliers and stuff like that. Like some of the guys, they ran Pintos and stuff, but I wasn't a rich guy, so I couldn't afford one of them.
Right.
But those seem to hold up fairly well.
Yeah.
For what they were. So
I ran Cavaliers in 2 Enduros. I couldn't make a Cavalier live through an Enduro, but I was still playing. That was back when there were a lot of big cars that were in the Enduro still. And you can't get a little 2-door Type 10 Cavalier up against a fucking Fleetwood.
Yeah.
You just power to weight ratio there. I mean, all you need is that thing to be the hammer one time, and you're a pretty small tack on the track.
Yeah.
So that never worked out for me. But every Cavalier that I had was a tough car, really. I mean,
oh, they would hold their own fairly well, and like I said, the Corsicas were the same, similar design, and
sure.
But I was impressed by them.
Yeah.
I mean, and once the rules started changing a little bit to where we can kind of switch bumpers around and this and that, then they really helped them out.
Yeah.
And you get a couple of runs out of them, but. Yeah, and then as the wheelbase went up, then you find a bigger car.
Right.
So.
How do you feel about the aftermarket bumpers with the stock bumpers, like on the rules wise?
Like the homemade?
Yeah.
They're just as good as, probably a little bit stronger than, most 70s bumpers you get. But the nice part about them is you can buy one of those, and it's going to last you a while, especially on a compact.
So it's easier on you guys then?
Yeah. I would say so. I remember going, spending $1,200 in a pickup load of bumpers, and it's over half of them are already destroyed. So, why not spend $700 for a homemade one, and it's going to last you the rest of your life, for compacts anyway.
Right.
No, I ain't ain't against them. It makes sense.
Do you think that would be? Especially now that those stock bumpers that were desirable are getting harder and harder to find, of course, then the price of those goes up.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is it, for you guys, especially in, like you said, in a compact class where you can build this one aftermarket bumper or have someone build this one aftermarket bumper for you, and you're no question about a bumper from that point on. This is the bumper I'm going to have.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like you said, the prices keep going up for a fresh, straight, Chrysler Ponies, for example.
Sure.
You're upwards of $700 for one of those for a real nice one.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well just go buy a homemade, or what do you call it, an aftermarket bumper, homemade bumper, whatever.
Replica, aftermarket, whatever. Yeah.
Might as well, buy one of them, a few $100s more, and then now it's going to last you a while.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody wreck one yet.
How many runs you get out of the stock bumper? Like 3, 4?
Depends on how aggressive you are.
What you
Right.
Yeah, that's what a lot of it is. If you're going up against, another pointy or something like that, they're going to destroy your stock 70s bumper. Sure, you can seam weld them and stuff. That helps hold them together, but there is a point where they'll start bending. But I don't know. I think I got the one I've been running now for a couple of years. Shit, I got 10 runs on it, 8 runs.
So that's a good one.
Yeah, it's starting to flatten out now, but that's just an olds one.
Yeah, you run pretty hard. I don't think I've seen you hit soft. So.
Yeah, it's all on how you hit too. But a lot of the damage is happening if you get too solid of a bumper. A lot of damage happens behind the bumper. The bumpers will stay straight, and
Right.
Your car takes the brunt of it.
So do you think that's an issue, especially with these front-wheel drive cars? And you're talking, the alignment of your K-frame, how everything works, all the steering components, all of the power components are all right there. With that hard bumper up front, do you think there's more of a chance that your actual key components are going to get wrecked because you have that rigid bumper?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, basically, because it'll find the next place.
Right, you got to have you have to have your weakest point. It has to be somewhere.
Yeah, and even if you got the bumper brackets and stuff like that, it'll find the next spot to bend.
Sure,
it always does. But after a few runs, and then you get your extra plates, and that's kind of what helps you keep somewhat straight.
Gotcha.
But once you see all the bending, then it kind of determines on how you hit the next show you go to.
Right.
Lighten it up or go a little heavier or whatever.
Well, I would think, that like I said, all your crucial stuff really to perform is all up front there. So I could see where part of the mentality to have a nice, strong, hard bumper up front kind of makes sense. But then if you actually look at it to what, if that hard bumper doesn't have any give there, what's the next thing down the chain that's gonna screw you?
Yeah, it's kind of what it ends up.
Right. Huh. I guess I'd never thought about that until we just started talking about it like that. But that's, your frame horns are only this long. You only have,
Yeah.
There's only this much room before all of a sudden the whole front end of that thing's out of whack.
Yep. Yeah, and it doesn't take much.
No.
One goofy shot and everything's twisted.
Right.
But yeah, if you get the real, so that's kind of where I haven't decided which way to go yet. I still got a few bumpers laying around.
Yeah.
So I haven't really worried about it yet. But if I continue to keep Derbying, at what point do you switch?
Right.
And
then do you have to build your car differently based on your intention of how you're going to hit with that bumper and what the next thing is that's going to,
Yeah, my opinion, I think so.
Yeah.
It's that'll be the placement of your plates and where and this. So it's kind of like trial and error again.
Sure. So you get used to building a certain way, and now all of a sudden, them bumpers are probably not as readily available. And thank goodness you've got some stockpiled. But at some point, you do that, that transition there. Now the vehicle is going to bend it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to build
a little bit. Yeah. You just got to move placements of stuff around.
Sure.
Where do you help this spot? Where do you leave this spot alone?
Right.
You can manipulate the front end of a car pretty good.
Yeah.
To where you want it to bend or whatever.
Right.
So
was it that crucial then that Sloan hit you in the ass end of your car?
Look at this guy.
Well, no, I always have to go back to this. We're going to keep a rivalry going here. I can't be the only one hitting this guy when we come to Rapids, right?
I don't know. He just blew out the strut tower in my car.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought.
They pushed it in like a foot.
Really?
Yeah, it went along.
We got to see the video. After this is all over, we're putting the video on the TV. I gotta see this. We gotta get there.
It just caved in. It hit solid and stopped and then pushed him.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it blew out the strut tower, and I still have the car sitting out there.
Yeah.
It's waiting. It's gonna have its glory against him again.
Good. I'd like to see that.
or we'll just straighten it out quick, and you can drive it.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I ain't opposed to that.
Which one is that? That ain't the one that's got my bumper on it still.
That's the one Nathan ran in Fertile. The one he won with.
Put him in the one that Dustin.
And then I whipped his ass with it in Grand Forks with it.
I like how you guys trade cars amongst each other too. That's a blast. Which one was that? Well, that's the one that so-and-so did this, and then so-and-so did that. And you get good and bad, and then you got to go back to the tape then, I suppose, and figure out, well, who's the better driver, or who just got the luckiest shot in, or...
Yeah, that's what a lot of it is. It's a game. It's a game of luck. It's
oh, hell yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. I've always said it my whole entire life. My mantra is it's always better to be lucky than good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the Derby world, that holds so true. It's like you can have everything planned out, all the strategy in the world, and yeah, the cards didn't fall the way I want to do it today. And then the next go round, you got that piece of shit back on the track, and I just want to finish it off, and I'll be damned. Roll the dice, and oh no, I'm good. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take it.
That's like you said what Sloan was saying, tunnel vision.
Yeah.
The whole thing when he was at Rapids there. He said, my car was going so slow, I didn't think it got. Watch the video, you were hauling ass going across there. He said the coil pack, or the The old
Are
Camry.
are you talking about Grand Forks?
Yeah, Grand Forks. He said, I wasn't even going that fast. My car doesn't have any power, no speed.
Yeah, watched the video and it was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that tunnel vision again.
Yeah.
That's more of a traction game than anything usually is anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know it was for sure in Grand Rapids because I had bald tires and I couldn't move on that greased owl shit for save my ass.
Yeah. I had good tires and I couldn't even fucking move hardly.
Right. Well, it was funny. Everybody was like, "No, Dwayne, you got to go the other way." And I'm like, I just tried to go both directions. This fucking thing won't move. Here I sit. It's not moving, man. But you know, what do you do? And people don't see that from the stands either, you know. And we don't. We got the video of it, and it's the video of it. It is what it is. But yeah, you don't see the mud going that direction and the mud coming back this direction, and me sitting in the same spot either.
Yeah.
So
No,
I just look like
pretty slimy. It definitely could use less water.
yeah. I think if the sissies that didn't show up for the enduro class, if they would have showed up and dried the track up a little bit, you know, like we had intended.
Yeah.
By the time the compacts got out there, then it would have probably been a better show. But
Yeah.
you know,
And
you get some big Lincoln out there with my dumb ass, and I mean, there's really not a whole lot of drying out we could do with that track, just the two of us, you know.
No.
Well, I mean, we did what we could, but that was pretty lackluster 6 minutes of my life. I'll tell you that right now.
It was funny to watch.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. It was funny. It was funny to be there. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I did. I had a good time. I know Cole well enough to know we weren't out there trying to headhunt and kill each other or hurt each other or anything. He wanted to run his car in an enduro after that, and I was kind of trying to make that not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, his trunk ended up the way it did. But somebody else wanted me to save that car, so you know, and that was
Or just use backup first.
yeah.
But it's kind of hard on that slippery surface.
Yeah. No, it was a learning experience for me. I mean, I'm kind of a hothead. I'm kind of a loudmouth, and I kind of like to run everything I run wide fucking open.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some humility there at the end of that, you know, because that front wheel drive car, I don't care how good of a driver you are, that front wheel drive car in reverse, momentum on my side, I got it. I'm looking back, I'm lined up. I got where the hell did the front end just go?
Yep.
I'm around in a circle. Son of a bitch. What just happened there? Okay, we're lining her up again, you know. And there's 4 or 5 times there the intentions were way up here, but the result was way down here.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. And what do? You just, I mean,
You roll with the punches. All
Right.
I do. I mean, there's many times you go out there right on the line. Okay, you got a game plan. Minute the green flag drops, it all changes.
Sure.
Because now you either got to match the pace of somebody else, or you set the pace, or you got everybody on top of you in one shot. And
I would have to think, and I mean, I'm going back to the old school days where I ran a lot of Impalas actually myself, and then I got into Vicks for a little while, but I didn't like them Vicks. Probably just because I had a stockpile of GM stuff that was pretty deep.
mm,
But I know, like, our rear-wheel drive stuff, when I first started driving out there, you know, you could get into a tight pinwheel and everybody'd be spinning around and there'd be mud flying, and you weren't really hitting each other, but you were all lined up and you looked pretty fucking cool.
yeah.
Motor sound, yeah, it's nice when you're smacking $8,000, you know, not gonna die, and there's flames flying. Oh yeah, yeah, that's fun. That's adrenaline stuff there. But it don't really do a whole lot for the show. Now, moving forward, you get into these little dinky cars like that, and I never thought them compacts would hit like they do. But holy balls, man! Like that's where it's at for me now, as far as like getting behind the wheel of a compact and going against this guy behind the camera here, is for one, just nosing up on somebody with a front wheel drive car, I think is going to be a blast.
Mm.
You go from 0 to 60 in like 5 feet.
Right. Well, at least, you know, the tires do.
Yeah.
You know, we still have this controversy amongst ourselves too. You know, he was an enduro driver for quite a few years. I drove some stock cars, and then I drove an enduro car, and I've driven a lot of junk. And we always talk about, oh yeah, I was going this fast. Well, no, you weren't. The wheels were going that fast. Because they're, yeah, there's a lot of times, you know, you get a little excitement and you say, I was going this fast out on that racetrack, and yeah, right. But in reality, I mean, even if you're going a 15-mile-an-hour impact nose to nose across that arena, that's a big freaking deal.
Especially if it's head on.
Right. Yeah. No, that's 30. That's
Yeah,
that's,
I try to avoid head-ons now.
Yeah.
It hurts. It's starting to hurt more and more every
Yeah.
time I do it.
Yeah.
Very good, smarter hits. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just go out there and just lay it down. The crowd loves it.
Right.
But it's the next day. It's like I got to go to work. This hurts, you know.
Right.
And they go to.
Hit you in the rear end. I think that's all I did was head-ons. My wrist felt the next
Yep. Yeah, that's when you got a death grip on the wheel.
Yep. And that's what I was trying to tell him before we went out there. You know, I've wrecked enough shit where I know when to let go of the steering wheel. You know, I value my thumbs. I always fold my thumbs in. Like I do this number all the time. I'm like, okay, yep. My thumbs are in. Oh shit, noodle. You let go of the steering wheel and just like, okay, yep, that one worked out good. But then there's that unexpected one that gets you, and all of a sudden you feel it right up your freaking spine, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, or you get hit and crooked or whatever, and your head bounces off the passenger door.
Right.
I mean, you're still hanging on, but I think you got a video of that in Fertile, where I got smoked in the door, and you just see me head all the way down and right back up. I didn't even realize that happened.
Right.
You know.
I think a lot of that, you know, now that we're doing the videos, the in-car cams are really, really cool because you see that jarring effect that you never. It doesn't matter. Like you could be sitting front row in the grandstands watching your favorite driver, and you can see his helmet moving around in there pretty good. You can see he's getting shook up a little bit, but you go to that GoPro in-car footage, and holy crap, it's a whole different world. Then you feel it kind of a little when you see that video replay. You know.
Video we got at Bow on the night that he won.
Yeah.
You see him kick it down, and he comes right across the track.
Oh yeah.
He hits that guy against the wall.
Oh,
you see the guy in the Oganosh flying.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about them in-car cameras. I dig them. I was super glad that even though I screwed up and put it in upside down, that we got the in-car of you flipping over. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that was not expected or intentional.
No, we've had discussion off camera several times since then about that experience, and I totally understand where you were going with it. For one, you got to keep moving. You don't want to be a still target.
Yep.
For two, you know he's going to fire up again. So now what's your next move? You know, there's all them things are running through your head instantaneously as you line up, and oops, over she goes.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? I mean,
It's like since we started filming Derby, you were the first person that's ever folded a car up in front of me.
right.
The first person that rolled over like in the Derby with a camera in the car.
Yep.
You just busting all the
You get to bust all the cherries for us.
Sweet. What's the next one?
I don't know. You're gonna have to come up with it. We don't know.
Huh.
We didn't know you were gonna roll over. We didn't know you were gonna fold one in half.
Well, it ain't like I drove up there and was planning on it. Like,
Right.
hey, this is what we're gonna do today.
Right. Yeah, this is not scripted, guys. Not even close.
Huh.
Half the time we don't know. I mean, the thing a lot of people don't know is I had like so much trouble with that GoPro that day, and it was the third battery I was on. I had literally looked at him and went, dude, I don't even know if I'm going to get this thing in your car. And then last second, what if I try this? And everything came together, and it was upside down, but I got it in there. But it was like you were this close to the entrance when I slapped that. Go! I got you! Go! You know?
Yeah.
And then we haphazardly came out with that footage, and that was, I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That was a perfect example of it, you know?
Got to be the first for everything, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. And it's fun when it's somebody we know, it's a buddy of ours that we get to have, then we get to have the afterthought, we get to talk about it, you know?
Mhm.
That's fun for me.
Yeah, I caught a lot of crap for that. They said it was pretty funny that I did it to myself, and I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it.
Right.
At least the cage held up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can refer back to the footage. He was pretty safe in there, even though he was hanging
yeah.
upside down. So.
Yeah. Front of the roof crushed in a little bit, but
Yeah.
it was all right.
Yeah.
Upside down celebrating.
Right. Yeah.
That was more of adrenaline rush than anything. That was the first time I've ever done it, so I've never flipped in a car ever. So
Yeah.
You don't see much of it happen like that anymore, where cars just took over.
yeah.
I think we seen Elliot's and Ice Crush last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hit the back of a wagon, went right up the tire.
Oh yeah, and then flipped over. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, but
that
it's still.
happens a lot when they have these damn ass ends sucked down so far.
Sure.
That's all that's made for.
Right.
Yeah.
Is to tip people. That's all it's for. Just to roll 'em. Tire shots and roll 'em.
It's mainly the trucks pushed down that I see that happen. the cars, they just run into each other.
Right. We didn't, I guess when I got into this thing, I never really banked on catching a bunch of rollovers by any means. But, over the last year, there weren't that many that tipped, that ended up on their side or on their lid, but they're all memorable experiences. They're all, everything that there's, like you're saying with the adrenaline being in there, there's the adrenaline that happens around that arena when all of a sudden, poof, something's on its lid or on its side.
Oh yeah.
Like just to watch what our reactions are, what the crowd's reaction is, and then what the officials and the people that are around that ring, how quick they're bam on it,
Yeah.
Where you flipped, you were really, really close to two different flagmen, and I mean it was
They were there. I mean,
instantaneously,
yeah.
damn near. It was like
It
and
was-
asking you if you were all right, and
Yeah.
and then it was the plan of how do we get him out of here,
Yeah, they asked if I wanted to be flipped up on my side. I'm like, no, I'll just get out. Well, then seatbelt was stuck. I couldn't get it out, so they had to push me up, and then
Yeah.
then I popped the boost, and then I couldn't get out. I
Yeah.
laid on the roof, and I'm trying to wiggle out of there, and they had to pull my ass out. But
Yeah.
That was Blake DeHay Day.
yeah,
Yeah.
We've just seen him in Ice Crush.
I think that same car that he had up there was down in Ice Crush. I don't know. I think he was driving a different one. Blake was. I
Yeah, I
don't know
think
who was driving that car. Oh, yep. Yeah, I think that was the same car. I thought it looked like it anyway, but because there was two cars there. Because he had, what was he have, like a Buick or something? And then the other black and orange one was that Lumina from Thief River. I thought, like I said,
Well,
Just push the ass back down.
I think they pushed it up or whatever.
yeah.
But
I don't know. I was inside of a freaking enclosed trailer at Ice Crush, so I didn't see shit. Yeah.
yeah, I know.
I brought 5 heaters with. I brought all we had was propane tanks and Mr. Heater equipment with us.
That was a little chilly that day.
Yeah, it was definitely cold.
We were to go down there, but like, yeah, it's a little bit warmer. inside.
Yeah, we woke up and seen it was like 12 below. We're like, I don't want to stand out in the cold.
Right.
They had a heated tent.
Huh?
They had a heated tent.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a heated tent right next to the beer.
Oh, well, shit. We should have went.
I didn't get the invite from him knowing that we were going to do that.
He just needs to get a stripper pole on the side of the heated tent.
Well, I mean, I got the base going with the flagpole. You could have made something happen there, probably. We're gonna have to edit that out of there. People will be expecting things that we just can't. I mean, unless you want to see me on a stripper pole, yeah, probably.
Somebody out there for everybody.
I guess.
Ted needs derby parts.
Ted needs derby parts.
Plus the kid ones, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn
Plus the kid
kids.
parts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where we want to go with this interview. If we want to keep on bullshitting, if we want to shut her down and try a different one, if we want to get the guy that's heckling behind the camera to get on here.
Yeah, get the mouthy one up here.
The mouthy one up here. We can do whatever.
I'm just a quiet guy that's,
Right. We had this when we came and we talked to the whole team. Ted was the one that was self-professed. I'm going to stand in the back every once in a while. I'll say yep. and now he's been our golden boy here, and he's been in front of this is the 3rd interview now, counting the
oh, yeah.
counting the group one.
Yeah, I'm getting more used to it now.
Right on. Well, right on. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for ordering the merch. That's it took us a minute, but
Yeah,
at least we got
I
you
waited
some.
almost 3 months now. I got a coffee cup now.
Right.
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, I do. I
It'll keep the Mountain Dew cold too.
Yeah, there you go.